Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Just a minute ago, it was Jameis Winston leading his Buccaneers out of the tunnel. They're on their feet here in Tampa as the Bucs get set to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the Stanford man. It's Andrew Luck.
Brandon, I don't know about you, but when I heard he threw 5 touchdown passes last week, I thought, well, he's going to be the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I didn't need to hear any other stats, and it turned out to be right.
That's exactly right. It seemed like every time we turned around, he was throwing one in the end zone. But he doubled down. He said, I see 5 more in this game. Challenge accepted.
Challenge.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. A gain of 3, second down. Here's the offense, and if you're the defense, Charles, you really have to focus on that guy that's highlighted on the screen.
You're talking about pure speed. T.Y. Hilton can get down the middle of the field and really stretch a defense.
On second down, it's Bell. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6. Defensive side of the football, the starters here for Tampa Bay. They enter play ranked 8th against the run in the NFL.
I jotted down in my notes in prepping for this game that this is definitely an area we got to keep an eye on because you're talking about where they rank in stopping the run. But how about what they're facing? This unit loves to run the football, and they rank highly in the league in getting it done.
Yeah, power against power. Something's got to give. Now Luck. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Back deep for the Bucs, Deshaun Jackson. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Play fake. Winston. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. They'll hand it off to Kelly. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Hey, let's get a conversion.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. And break, the tight end's got it. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, you guys can come out of the gate. I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
Ready? Blue ready. Boys on it.
A give. This is Kelly. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15. And one advantage for this offensive unit is the big target, Mike Evans.
Play to his strength, his size and catch radius. Throw it up there, let him go get it.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Winston. And he's got it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's...
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But, Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, 1st and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. He'll get it up the middle. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. A look there at the defensive starters for the Colts. They played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key.
Ready? Blue ready.
3rd and goal, Winston. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bucs have taken a first quarter lead. That touchdown certainly a welcome sight. Remember, they were shut out last week. They talked to us about getting early momentum. Well, here you go in the opening quarter.
Got to rebuild confidence, because when you get shut out, I don't care how strong you are mentally, you've got to take a step back and say, okay, what just happened here? Because nothing that we were doing worked well enough to get into the end zone, and that's a nice confidence-building drive, one that puts it in the end zone to give them an opportunity.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks, because then the defense has the advantage.
They'll run with Mack. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up the touchdown.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The numbers for Bell on the ground in the game last week. He was, without a doubt, one of the catalysts in that victory.
And he can really be the glue that makes this offense go, because when defenders have to commit to stopping him, that just opens up more opportunities in the passing game. Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of this caliber that runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Tackle made that time by Vita Vea.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
The best offensive lines I know, they hang together and they don't really make a distinction. The right side of this offensive line, they may ask for a raise after that one, because without them, that first down doesn't happen.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
A give to Bell. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. And just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again. On
first down, it's Long. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Doyle. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From the gun, here's Love. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's James. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. A shotgun snap for Love. This is caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jack Doyle, his first touchdown on the year. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and the result for the Colts is a touchdown. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Jackson now to return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
They'll start on the ground here with Bernard. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. The numbers last week for Bernard, 13 carries, 56 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
Now Bernard. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 7-all is the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. But they've got a 3rd and inches coming up, trying to keep the chains moving.
Ready? Blue, ready.
They'll try and run for it with Kelly. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 11 and a first down.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now Jameis on 2nd down. On the screen, Bernard. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. And give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
The Bucs on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Winston to Godwin on the connection there for a Tampa Bay first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
This is Kelly. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Ready, blue lady.
2nd down, Winston. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the quick slant and a 1st down. Great change up there on the route. It got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
Ready, blue lady. Let's go.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Jameis to throw it. This will be caught just inside the 10. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Ready, black 22.
To the air again with Winston. Underneath, this is Bernard. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
This one fielded at the 5. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football.
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
3rd and long. It's Locke. He sets to fire deep. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass interference. Defense.
Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the 1st.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Locke. Throw left side complete. That's James. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to fire one, and this is caught. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Will Fuller, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are in for 6. And there, Charles, he lined up out left, ran the post, caught it over the middle, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And you have to love the scheme that they just showed there, because if you're going to run a deep post, you ordinarily have to get a safety out of the middle of the field. And you do it one of two ways. Either by running routes at him that carries him away from it, or you either freeze him in the middle with routes that run underneath so that he doesn't get depth. Then you throw it over the top, and boy, what a successful play that was.
Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT, and the lead is now 14-10. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Right back to him on first down. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On play action, Winston. He's going to air one out. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. Something of a rare incompletion. Remember, Charles, last week under 50% throwing the football. That's what he was, but he has turned that around in this game.
Last week was commonly known as a fluke. For him to be under 50%, not normal, not the usual. But to be up over 80%, that's extra time in practice, and that's throwing with extra confidence as well.
The Bucs on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Working out of the gun, Winston. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A good rally to the football holds him to 2, and that brings up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Back deep is DeAnthony Thomas. And we put our focus focus now on Le'Veon Bell. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
On second down, here's Locke. Gets this one to Le'Veon Bell. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. They'll get this into the hands of Deion Kane. And he'll be out right at the 35. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Now a first down throw. Locke. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Back to throw. Locke. Over the middle, complete. It's Doyle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Goes underneath for Bell. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll make it second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout. And now we're set to get going. Luck on first down. Going to throw right side here. Complete. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Luck going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 6 of his throws on this drive. From the red zone now, Luck. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Out of the gun, Luck. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. That's 3 touchdown passes now for Andrew Luck. And the Colts add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. A 10-play drive that time, and it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Just 11 seconds to go in the half as they have it 1st and 10.
Ready. Blue ready.
They'll start on the ground with Kelly. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee?
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They'll run with Kelly, and he'll power his way up near the 25. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Hey, boys, ready. Blue ready.
First down, Winston. And Blake has it over the middle. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Ready. Blue ready.
They'll run it here with Bernard. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time, and a first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Jameis now on 1st down. And incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now a carry for Bernard. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get him into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Winston. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. From the red zone now, Winston. Oh, it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's 2nd down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Here's Bernard. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Winston. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers to get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
And Zerline's kick is good. And that'll make this an 8-point game. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points. Able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's Locke. He's going to fire one deep, middle, and that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 26. Luck to Hilton on the hook up there. 45 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
For a guy who didn't throw a football for 500 days, Luck's looking pretty sharp here early in the year. It's 1st and 10. Play action. It's Luck. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Noah Spence able to get in and run him down for what will be a loss of 15 yards.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. From the gun, here's Luck. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Kane. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Luck. Caught left side by Hilton. And now running right through it. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. And that will bump the lead up to 11. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Ready? Black 25. Go.
Winston running the option left here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Ready? Blue waiting.
On 3rd down, Winston. Fighting to stay upright. This is caught by Jackson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Winston now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Ready? Blue waiting. Let's go.
They'll run again with Bernard. He'll get only a couple down to the 44. 2 yards on the 1st down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
The Colts on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw his Locke. And he's got his man Hilton. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Luck now. 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. Throwing his Locke. He shakes him off. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Vinny Curry in there to drop it for a loss of nearly 20 yards.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. The give is to Bell. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 8 yards there helps, but they're still stuck now. 3rd and long coming up.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. They'll fake the handoff. Now Luck. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. With it is Jackson. The quick feet by Jackson. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Ready. Blue ready. Ready to go.
2nd down, Winston. Over the middle to Evans. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A familiar ring to that one. Winston to Evans for the Buccaneer first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They go play action here on 1st down. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Ready. Blue ready.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter.
Ready. Flag.
On 1st and 10, Winston. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed,
Personal
here
foul.
come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at
Automatic
all. And
first
now your
down.
discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Ready. Blue ready.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Cameron Brate, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are able to make this a close game again. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
So a big play coming now for the Bucs as they'll go for 2.
Ready.
They're going to keep it on the ground, but he will not get in here. He stopped up short of the goal line, and this will remain a 5-point game.
You know, sometimes the guy on the defensive side of the ball, he just has a good feeling or a good read, and he unleashed his defense on that one. Boy, they stopped them in a big way.
Yeah, I hate to be cliche, but sometimes we overanalyze. They just have more want. Looked like they had more want right there.
More want and more people to the ball.
A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Off of play action. Luck. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Noah Spence in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Colts on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Luck. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. Winston and the Bucs take over now 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
Ready.
Working out of the gun, Winston. And great, the tight end's got it. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Winston now from the 50. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's 2nd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Jameis again. And he comes back with one complete. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard, and you probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
The Bucs on third down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Again, it's Winston. Airing this one out for Evans. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Matthias Farley. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
And the Colts getting ready to go. They get the crucial turnover, just huge, but now they've got the football deep in their own territory, and you got to be careful because if you give it right back, there goes your lead.
Have to be extremely happy with their defense. They received a gift. That takeaway, even though they're deep in their own territory, now they have the football. And you know there's always that alpha on defense, that grouchy guy. Forget what the coaches said. I'll guarantee you, he told the quarterback, we just took care of you. Now you take care of us.
A throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. This is Bell. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back. Tell him to take care of the ball and try and move forward.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. A look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Evans. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Ready. Black 22. Ready, we go. Hot. Ready, we go.
They run with it. It's Kelly. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And they'll run it here. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the 1st. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. And, Charles, you look at this offense, their struggles moving the ball well documented. Dead last in the NFL in 1st downs, but signs of life there.
Yeah, and you and I do, I think, a really good job of respecting the game and respecting the teams. But this squad, they're in a position now where their fan base gets excited when they pick up a 1st down. They cheer almost like they picked up a touchdown.
And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you're talking about a 300.
And he holds it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston. And the Bucs have taken the lead here in the 4th. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold him there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Hey, ready? Who ready? Where's that? Where's that?
From the gun, Winston. And this is going to be caught? No, they say it's incomplete.
I think we can figure out why they went for 2 there, right? Up 1. You want to make it a field goal difference if at all possible. They didn't get it. Now they've got to play some defense down the stretch.
Yeah, not much margin for error now for your D. They just have to get it into range. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Goes underneath for Bell. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On 1st and 10, Locke. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Fuller. 16 yards the pick up there. The Colts have a first down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a first down throw. Locke staying on his feet. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Buccaneers have it.
These years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48.
4 down. Ready. White 25. Where's that up?
Winston now after the fumble recovery. And that's going to be incomplete. He was trying to find O.J. Howard, and it's 2nd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Jameis to throw it. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. The Buccaneer first, Winston to Brate.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Winston. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Third and short yardage. Winston. He's got Evans. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Again, here's Bernard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Underneath, this is Bernard. And give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Stay in there. Ready. Blue lady. Let's go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Kelly to try to punch it in, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. They'll give it to him up the middle, and they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. All right, so the timeout over, and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Here's Winston. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Zerline's kick is good. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now, because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? He'll look to throw, and he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. The way he's thrown the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. They'll run for it. This is Matt. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed him. Instead, 2nd down. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The former 1st-round pick, Vernon Hargraves, the one who was there defensively. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
Holding offense.
So they decline the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty, and that's going to work against them. They should have taken it.
Winston goes ahead, takes the knee, and that should be all she wrote. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love to slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Tampa Bay, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Redskins.